When you're immature, when you haven't lived through a lot of ups and downs in life, then you get thrown a bad teammate in a bad moment in front of a few thousand people watching you. And then that amount of pressure, peer pressure, and it just everything comes too fast. And you just feel very frustrated about the situation, and you say things that you don't even feel yourself, you know?
Problem line to win this matchup.
In the case of Ocelot, he would say terrible things to insult people, whether it's your opponent and you're just trash talking them, or it's your own teammate on your team that has not performed up to your standards. Riot had to get involved and say, if you're going to be a professional athlete representing not only League of Legends, but Riot Games, playing in this league, you're going to need to clean it up.
Of course there is no ill intent, and I'm a kid. I remember it was about the time that my father actually was going through chemotherapy. But reacting that badly, especially in front of people, is the worst thing you can do, you know, because these kids look up to you. Showing them that kind of bad side of competition is the worst thing you can do. I remember the community and Riot being extremely fair, being judgmental, which helped me also be self-reflective, but at the same time being empathetic and giving me a second chance, which they did. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. Thank you very much to all of you. I love you all. Bye.
While there's one case of Ocelot, there are 100 cases of players who have not reformed, who have not cut out the toxicity.
The internet has this amazing power to create crowds, and crowds create anonymity.
Because it's free to play, you can get people coming into the game from anywhere, and you can have people having almost zero accountability for their actions there.
League of Legends has a really bad reputation for being toxic. Because you're in a high-pressure situation, there are a lot of factors outside of your control. I can see why people get frustrated, and I can see why in today's online culture that frustration turns into something pretty ugly.
No fucking joke, I'm not kidding. Kill yourself.
It's very similar to what you see in road rage, for example. It leads to that flash-in-the-pan rage where we tend to act out. The part that I find very painful just as a gamer is that my crime is that I show up as a woman. I don't play on voice chat because you're going to figure out pretty quickly that I'm not of the male persuasion, and so that usually leads to, you know, a variety of your classic get back to the kitchen comments to nasty stuff that I'm totally not going to repeat here.
I don't think it's a League of Legends specific problem. I think it's a gaming problem. For a lot of us, it's become white noise. If we got legitimately upset, we would never play.
You almost have to learn a bit about human psychology and realize that this person must be in such a terrible place to be doing that kind of thing. I almost feel bad for them in that sense. Although you can get a lot of hate, I try to focus more on how to fix the situation as opposed to being mad at it.
Early League started out small enough that many of these problems didn't manifest. Then it grew. At some point, League said, we need to take this seriously. We need to engage in the process of governance.
Welcome to the Tribunal. The Tribunal allows you to shape player behavior for the better, acting directly on reports from fellow players.
We built a penalty system for that, and we even experimented with trying to pull the community in and have them be the arbiters of what deserved a penalty or what didn't.
After reviewing the chat log, I decide I want to punish him.
But if we jump in there and we're like, you know, you can't do that, and that's terrible, and all these different things, then what happens is we just collectively, as people dig our heels in, like, oh, this is change. Whoa, what's happening? And that's what led us to say, let's figure out what this gap is. And it turned out it was encouragement. It was telling folks when they're doing a great job that they're doing a great job. Instead of it always being about the punishments, let's celebrate with players. And that has worked so much better than just strictly focusing on those penalties. But we're never going to reach perfect. There is no perfect. There's no end state. There's just this ongoing understanding of players.
Even though people might say that the community is toxic, I feel like we can make it a better place by being support talkers rather than trash talkers.
Toxicity is negative. Let's not keep that up. We're all about good times.
I'm here to say that there is a whole side that never gets talked about, full of awesome people who are being really good to each other. So keep playing League.
League of Legends is part of a very big movement. It's the players and fans that are all coming together to craft this experience together.
League up! League up!
It's not just a bunch of people independently consuming something. It is a ton of people all over the world creating something. For them, it's about the characters themselves. It's this character-driven situation where you kind of assume the fantasy of this game.
The huge cast of characters that has developed is one of the reasons why League can have that popularity. It gives that access. We're generally looking for something that we identify with. And that means that anybody can come to that and find a way in.
I thought the art of the characters was so cool. This looks really fun and interesting, and I really like it.
Heimerdinger does have the best swag.
Oh, yeah, he has that swag. Heimerdinger swag!
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Oh my god, I love Graves. They made that Graves skin with like no shirt, and I was like,
Feeling lucky? Try me.
I connect with this so much that I am Draven.